Everybody, welcome back to Morning Talk with Mike and Paul. We're glad you're here. Busy day yesterday, man. Paul, busy day. You didn't get to see it. You were busy. But I sat through 4.5 hours of Charlie Kirk's memorial service in Glendale, Arizona. Got to watch that on the TV. Some powerful speeches. I was really impressed with Erica. And man, I'm going to tell you something. If you didn't tear up during her speech, you have a heart of coal, because that was the most powerful speech I've heard in a while. And then her ability to quote Christ on the cross, telling our Heavenly Father, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." And then she turned around after that and forgave the shooter. And that you could just see the pain in her heart saying that. But what a strong woman. I guess you could say that it was two things. It was a memorial service and it was a Republican rally. Because Charlie Kirk was a very political person. He was lauded with the 10% increase in youth voters under 30, especially males, to the Republican Party last November. You know what he meant to the Republican Party when the entire presidential cabinet spoke at his funeral, flew in, having the entire cabinet, Secretary of War, Homeland Security, everybody was there. And yeah, it's probably something we won't see, anytime soon. But you can just tell what he had done for the Republican Party, the MAGA movement, for President Trump. So yeah, I wasn't surprised they were all there. I wasn't surprised to see Elon Musk there. I wasn't surprised to see everybody that was there, the people that spoke. And I'm going to tell you something right now.
Something else?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio on the same ticket in 3.5 years. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. They're both two powerful people. They are both well-spoken. They're both on board with the way things are moving towards. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, guys. But it was a good. It needed to be done. 60,000+ people in the stadium there where the Cardinals play, and then another almost 40,000 across the road where the Arizona Coyotes play. And Terry and I have been in both of those stadiums, and it's huge. Okay, we've been in both of those stadiums when we were stationed down in Fort Huachuca, Arizona. We used to take soldiers up there. I had deals with both teams to include the Diamondbacks and the Phoenix Suns. And we got very well discounted tickets or free tickets for soldiers. And we used to bus them up there for these events and stuff like that. So yeah, we had experienced that. And I think people that went there, it was a good scene, and it's kind of funny that you don't see the hostile protesting on the conservative side.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand where on the left it has to always turn violent, because you accomplish nothing with violence. Okay.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong.
It's just nothing is advanced with that. There is no healing. And I've always said, if you continually talk violence, nobody wins. It's kind of like if you keep talking about racism, it never ends. Okay. Morgan Freeman said it best on an interview.
Yeah, I seen that.
Someone asked him, how do you stop this racism? He goes, stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. Just be human beings. And I believe that wholeheartedly.
That was the same interview. They asked him what he
Jamie
thought
O'Rourke
about
says Trump can be a VP. Can he
Yeah.
be the vice president?
Yes.
I don't think his character will allow him to play second fiddle. You know what I mean?
He won't be second fiddle. He'll be the VP in charge.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the Democrats have done it before.
Have they really?
Who do you think was actually in charge for Joe Biden?
Well, it wasn't a VP.
No, it was a former president.
I don't think she can put a sentence together.
Yeah.
Hey, so guys, I'm glad you're here.
He blamed me.
I'm glad everybody's here. Tonight we're going to talk about, has the world gone crazy?
It went crazy a long time ago.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that and ways that, what causes that and how you can respond to that. So I'm glad you're here.
You're
glad
not going to
Paul's
like
here. Paul,
You're not going to like my opinions on that.
I need you to send me some better photos of you so I can put them on the thumbnail instead of that deer in the headlight look. But guys, I'm glad everybody's here. Hey, we did post the link at the top up there, so please click that. Join us on panel as we go through this or any other subject. We may go totally off the rails. Who knows?
Who goes off the rails?
Because we're very good at that, right? So let's say hello to some people in here. Our friends over in the Philippines, there's Merns Pacquiao, Charmaine, Trey Roma, Maria Garcia, Jolene, Leland Layla, Gerlie Sienna, Nay Smiles here, Shane Raza, Ilakana, welcome in. There's Mr. Paul Honeyman.
Where?
There's Tamara over at Heartland Headquarters with Dink and Tank. One thing I can tell you about Tamara, she will tell you exactly what she's thinking, and I appreciate that. There's no hold for that. There's Barbara Castillo.
Oh.
Debbie Drox here.
Do you ever get an itch right in the middle of your back?
Hey, Bo's RV Life. Bo knows RVs, guys. If you got any questions about RV or you're having some issues, get a hold of Bo. He's got the answer, trust me. And go over there and subscribe to his channel, guys. Especially if you've got an RV, you need to be subscribed to Bo. RV, travel trailer, I don't care. Fifth wheel, you need to go over there and check him out. Oh, I need one of those. Hey, there's Ray Castile. Welcome in.
These are as good as a woman with long fingernails.
That's what I need. And there is Jamie over at O'Rourke's Littlefield. And again, prayers for you and your daughter. There's a sad thing to hear. Let's see. Rebecca Touched by Yarns here. Hello, Rebecca. Oh, and another thing, we just found out early this morning that Tim and Dana Mason, they went up to the races up in Kansas where Johnny was racing this weekend, and she is now in critical care in Wichita, Kansas. For some reason, Terry has texted her and Tim to see what's going on. We don't know what the issue is, but prayers for Dana.
Why is she there, Tamara?
Wow, I didn't think about that. Is he old enough
Who? Kirk?
to run for VP? I thought there was an age limit, and I think it's 34.
Yeah, well, don't forget that's
Well, he
2028.
might be close to 34 by the time it would happen, or he would have. There's Virginia Alexander. Welcome in, my friend.
I think that's why he was silenced before he got his voice got too big.
I think that's a true statement right there, Tamara.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see. No, we just
Not really
had
sure yet. Kidneys and
access
livers
to
are shutting
knowledge
down.
of it. Population numbers are growing every day. We are just as shitty as we were. Yeah. Rainy Ridge, welcome in.
Tamara's just posted. Not really sure yet. Kidneys and liver were shutting down. Amy posted it. Seen it last night.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
Right about Dana.
Okay.
Tamara posted. Not really sure yet. Kidneys and liver were shutting down. Amy posted it last night.
Okay. There's Troy Sutton. Welcome in, brother. Okay, I'm at the bottom. So, has the world,
Dana, it's Tim.
The phrase "has the world gone crazy" reflects a widespread feeling that the world is in disarray, with common contributing factors including global crises. We're seeing wars all over the place. We got things going down in Venezuela, in the Caribbean, Ukraine, the buildup now in Poland. The Third Cavalry has moved all their assets and has been training the Ukrainians on all the battle tanks, Bradleys, howitzers, you name it, wheeled vehicles, tactics, techniques, and procedures. And now they've moved everything into the European theater.
They don't need the tanks. They just need to send the howitzers.
We've got F-35s. We've got Apaches moving down into the Caribbean.
They're fucked. They're fucked.
Yeah. I mean, we just found the top Air Force general had defected. They've got them apparently in close quarters, getting all the information out of him from Venezuela. Russians, I mean, they're flying drones and
I
they're
did not see that comment.
they're poking the bear, if you will, with their flyovers of NATO countries and stuff like that. I don't know why Putin is doing this. A destabilized Russia is not good for the world. Same thing with China. China is, coming close to our ships. They know there should be a buffer. Nothing happens good when you get in close proximity with, billions of tons of ships and munitions. Nothing's ever good that way. Now we're finding out that the European countries are recognizing Palestine as an independent state. I did like the statement that Peter Doocy had asked your prime minister, why are you waiting to recognize Palestine as a state and you're waiting until after the president leaves your country? Man, the journalists, you were so disrespectful to the president. I mean, to the prime minister, blah, blah, blah. Hey, he asked the hard questions. Okay. Why are you doing? Why don't you just do it while he's there? And, I guess they didn't want to ruin the mood because Trump is not recognizing them. The United States is not recognizing them because recognizing them when Hamas has such a tight control over the people there, yeah, what's going to change? Okay, you figure if you recognize somebody, you're supporting a independent government, a democracy, and that's not going to happen. At least I personally don't think it's going to happen because they have been fighting since time began. Okay. They've been fighting ever since Moses went to the mountain and looked out and seen the promised land. That's how long they've been fighting. So, that contributes to a unstable world, And
well, you know why Hamas are fighting so bad, don't you?
Why is that?
Because all the other Muslims pushed them into one little area because they didn't want them.
The Muslim world does not want them. They're like the redheaded stepchildren of the Muslim world.
No, they're more like the Nazi party of Germany.
Yeah, they're doing all the dirty work.
They are religious fanatics.
Hey, Charlene Grady's in here.
I know. I've said
my friend.
Virginia Alexander's in here as well.
I appreciate and welcome Hispanic families that come legal, pay their way, and don't hate.
I don't hate
legal foreigners. No, do it the right way. It's not fair to the people who did it the right way. And they say, now the Supreme Court is saying, hey, they have unleashed law enforcement to do their job. And everybody goes, that's profiling, blah, blah, blah. But the Supreme Court says you can profile them.
Hi, Karen.
And, but you got to remember something. Didn't ICE and Homeland Security just raid the Hyundai plant? Didn't they fill up buses with illegal Koreans? And now Korea has sent a plane to pick up their citizens and return them back to Korea. Okay, that's the right thing to do. Okay.
There's Merns Pacquiao.
If Hyundai wanted Korean workers in the United States to work in their plants, then they should have done it the legal and correct way.
Yeah.
Yet the Koreans came in illegally, and then Hyundai hired them, Hyundai USA hired them to work in the plant as illegals. So you tell me, I think, I don't care where you're from. If you're here illegally, you got to go. If you commit crimes and you're an illegal alien, you got to go. Okay. Hey, there's Ed at Whistle Stop.
Merns Pacquiao's here.
Yep. Hello, Merns.
And Karen Breast, my favorite Karen.
There she is. There's Merns Pacquiao.
She's got a gorgeous bone structure.
Her daughter Trixie just had her birthday. Yes.
Very nice picture, Merns.
Yeah. So as I was saying, there are global crises, political corruption. We see a lot of that, environmental issues, social inequalities, and a perceived negative or sensationalized media landscape. What happened to reporting the facts?
If it doesn't fit their narrative of who's paying the bills, they don't care.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. We're seeing the executives taking Jimmy Kimmel off the air because he just spews a bunch of hatred. He's part of the problem.
Well, I would have said he spews a bunch of shit.
Well, he's trying
that's
to think.
That's all he's done for years.
He's trying to use thinking I can use comedy to move the agenda.
It wasn't funny.
It wasn't even funny. You're right.
For comedy to be comedy, it has to be funny.
Yeah.
Did you see the interview with Johnny Depp? Johnny Depp turned around and he says, I came here for a nice chat. I didn't came here for an idiot to try and bloody well take the piss out of me. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And he walked off set.
Yeah.
He did it with somebody else. Started talking about their family and thought that was clever. And he turned around and says, you talk about my family once more, it'll be the last words you ever say.
Yeah.
And he said that on air.
Yeah. So why do people feel the world's gone crazy? And you can't say because it is. Okay?
It went crazy when the Crusades started.
When you're forcing your religion on other people or you're going to war, a religious war never ends well. Nope. And it didn't end well for a lot of people back in the day.
The Muslims have just been sending the people over.
Yeah. So many individuals.
It wouldn't be too bad. It wouldn't be too bad if it were families looking for a better way of life. But they're trying to bring military-age people in groves, not just in the United States, but in the UK as well. And they are trying to get them all in there, all Muslims, so they can bring their own laws here. If they want Sharia law, piss off back where you came from.
Yeah. Yeah, and that comes to the whole, if you want to move to another country, you need to assimilate to their cultures, their way, their laws, and don't push what you try to get away from on everybody else.
Especially the home people.
Oh, I just seen a thing on a city council up in, what was it, Dearborn, Michigan, where a citizen went up there and was talking that he don't believe they're changing the street names to Muslim names and stuff like that. And he didn't think it was right. And the mayor sat there and says, well, we don't want you in our city.
Yeah.
And
You're
he goes,
Islamophobe.
the day you leave, we will have a parade that you have left. And that's to a citizen. Okay.
That was to a Christian.
Yeah, because they didn't like what the Christian was saying, and they're trying to change all that stuff. They want Sharia law in these cities. They don't want to go by U.S. law. They want to go how they want it done, and that's what happens. That is the slow takeover of your country. Paul's seeing that in England. Hell, there isn't enough English people in London to stop them from voting in their own Muslim mayor.
He's been mayor for over 12 years.
Yeah.
And he's done absolutely sod all.
Yeah.
Except get rich, buy a knighthood, and piss everybody off.
Hello, Rhonda. Welcome in. James Hall, welcome in. There's Rice Lewis. Welcome in. Let me see if there's anybody else. Okay. So many individuals point to a problem like resource depletion, pollution, political instability, and widening socioeconomic gaps as evidence of global madness.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one could say that tariffs have sparked some global madness out there. But if you look at what the United States has endured for many years in the instability of tariffs, if you actually did your homework and seen how we were not getting a fair deal in these other countries and the tariffs going in was higher on us than them coming into the United States, you would understand it. And now, after everybody said this will destroy everything, look at the billions of dollars coming into the United States in tariffs. Okay? Look at the billions of dollars. Now, look at the other countries who are saying, whoa, 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 whoa. We acknowledge we have been screwing you over for a long time. Now let's negotiate a tariff that we can both live with. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you,
I'll be happy with 1% of them millions.
If you don't believe money rules this world, you're living in la la land. Okay? People want their products sold around the world. Okay? Businesses want their products sold in the United States. We want our products sold outside the United States. Okay? The worst thing that we ever did was get lazy. And we did this many, many years ago. Right now, if somebody can tell me where one television is made in the United States, I'll eat my hat. Well, I got a hat right here. It's Johnny Gilliam's hat, and I'll eat that thing. Because I remember when I was a kid, everywhere you looked, there was a TV repair shop. Go take your TV in, they change some tubes out, whatever, or the guy come to your house, take the back of your TV off, fix it, blah, blah, blah. Now we just throw them away.
Yep.
Okay? We just throw them away. Because that's the society we live in. All right? And over in Asia, they seen that. People are going to want TVs. All right. We can pay our people lower wages, get the product to you cheaper than you can make a television in the United States. So
Do
people
you know
go,
what?
oh, because if you remember when the flat screens came out, how expensive they were.
Yeah.
And now I went to Walmart the other day. You can buy a TCL 85-inch TV for $638.
See that one behind me?
Yeah.
It's a 42-inch screen, smart screen. It hasn't been on for over 2.5 years. That was the last time I watched a DVD on it. That's my backup for if my monitor ever goes out.
Yeah. I mean,
Smart TV.
they've taken all the environmental crap out of the TVs. They've made them LED screen, little teeny lights and blah, blah, blah. And you just toss them.
Yeah.
That's it. They're made out of plastic. I mean, I can lift an 85-inch TV, by myself. You imagine if you ever wanted to move one of those big TVs we had in the 70s. Hell, it took two men to move those things. Okay.
Plug it in, Jamie.
Thieves didn't come in and steal your TV. It was too heavy. Now they just lift it up off the wall and they run outside with it. So
I've got glasses for that, James. You were talking about the Asians
yeah,
and seeing all that stuff.
smart people. I'm going to tell you, they are smart people.
Yeah. It's not Asia. I think it's India, where they take all the ships to scrap. I watched, the anchor chains. I watched them cutting an anchor chain apart on the beach. And they took it and they turned that anchor chain into hundreds of prop shafts and wheel bearings for heavy machinery.
Yeah.
Now, if that's not recycling, I don't know what is.
Yeah. I mean, when we lived in Korea, I don't know.
Good morning, Jerry and Susan.
We lived in an apartment high rise. I think it was like 27 floors or whatever. And downstairs outside of each building, and there was several in this one complex with green space outside where you could walk your dogs, your kids could play on the playground. And you don't even have to leave your apartment complex. They had a recycling where you took your trash down.
Yeah.
And when you took your trash down, you had to separate it. And they had cameras on all four corners. And the guardhouse, when you drove into our complex, had the monitors, and they were on motion sensors. So it started filming as soon as you walked in there. And you would receive a fine for not properly distributing all your recyclables in the right containers. They're dead serious on it. And if you wanted to throw things out, you had to call the city, and you had to get a permit number, and you could set like if you had an old couch, you would set it out there, and you would have this piece of paper on there with the number and all that stuff, and you had to pin it to your couch or tape it to a desk or whatever you were getting rid of, and then they would send you the tax bill on taking care of that for you. So they have the recycling program down pat over in other countries. Here, just throw it in a bag, throw it in a landfill, and that's it. It's crazy that we don't recycle like the rest of the world. And how much stuff do they really recycle? You know what I mean?
Well,
cardboard floating around everywhere.
Yeah. And the good thing is you could throw out cardboard, and these older Koreans would come by. They had a cart, and they would go through and break down all the boxes, stack them up there, and strap them in. And you'd see some little man or some little woman hauling this cart down the street, and it was like, 6 or 7 foot high on this cart of cardboard. And they would take it to a local recycling place, and they would weigh it, and they would pay them for doing this.
Yeah.
Then you would see older Koreans that the government would say, hey, you're going on trash detail. And they would walk down through like the Riverway in Daegu, Korea, or the parks or on the streets, and they would pick up trash so that they could receive a check every month because they're in retirement status for working for the city. So number 2 things, the older generation got out, went walking, they did a community service type thing, and they got paid by the city to augment their retirement. So, yeah. Our old people just go into a home and sit there and paint and do stuff like that, where other countries still make them go out there, get some sunshine, get some air, get some exercise, and do a community service. Yeah, I mean, there are recycled drop-off areas and stuff like that, but we just don't do it like the rest of the world does it.
I've got 2 wheelie bins, one for regular trash and one for me recycles. Well, the recycles go to a recycling centre where they sort out the glass, they sort out the plastics and the cardboard.
There's David Glunt.
Yep.
From
Jerry and Susan Butler here.
There is Susan and Jerry over there in Missouri.
Brett from Butt Nuggets is in here.
Who?
Brett, Butt Nuggets. Rabbit shit.
Good morning, Brett. Brett and Deborah. Oh, you
Butt
take
Nuggets.
it to your township. But it's not required, right?
Butt Nuggets equals rabbit shit.
The other influence is media influence. The way news is presented, often focusing on negativity and sensational stories, can contribute to a feeling of chaos, and it distorts view of the world state. Guys, we see that every single day. Let's take this small clip and make this big story out of it. And then when you go back and you say, well, wait a minute, I just seen that on the news, but that's not really what happened.
I wonder.
All right. And that's called fake news. Okay. And that is a huge problem. Okay. There's societal changes, inequity, corruption of governments, and mismanagement of environment are seen as major factors exacerbating the feeling that things are not right. All right. These are all things that make people think, hey, crap's not right around here. All right. It stinks here in Istanbul. Personal factors, stress, mental health conditions, and a sense of losing control can make an individual feel overwhelmed, and that their personal circumstances are mirroring global instability. Now, how do you respond to all this stuff? It keeps coming at you. It's hitting you in the face. Okay?
If you can prove it's false, they should be sued.
Exactly.
They should be forced to make a retraction.
and they should. Your device ran into a problem and needs to restart. Well, thank you very much.
You mean Terrie's pinched the batteries again?
No, that's my Dell. It is just. I need to. I need to get rid of it and get me a new computer. But
Did Terrie just throw something at me?
But all these things contribute to a confused society.
Yeah.
Okay. Because now you have to go to 2, 3, 4 sources and then try to piece all that together and say, what is the actual truth here? Okay. Why does Putin want the Ukraine so bad? They want the Ukraine so bad so they can control the sea to the south. They want the Ukraine because of the vast minerals that Russia needs to survive.
Yeah.
Okay. Ukraine is a gold mine of minerals. Okay.
Right.
Now, people
I think
go,
I read that you
we're not supporting the Ukraine because we're not just sending planes full of money over there. Okay. We're not just giving them stuff. Now, what are we doing? We're making them buy it. Okay. And if NATO wants them to have stuff, NATO pays for it. We supply it and everybody's happy. Okay. This war, although I am very proud of the Ukrainian people to take on a superpower they didn't take them on, they were invaded. Taking on a superpower, and the war has lasted 4 years when you would think, wow, Russia's so big, they could just mow over them and just go do whatever they want.
Russia may be big, but it hasn't got the population.
Because when you have a reason to fight for something, you fight like 10 men, okay, or 10 women. And that's what the Ukrainians are doing. And Russia was not ready for that. The world has a different thought about how powerful Russia truly is. And now the people are speaking out. They are sick and tired of it. Okay. And now Putin is throwing drones over Poland. He's flying over NATO airspace. He's just poking the bear. And why are they doing it? Has Putin not learned? And the Ukrainians just took over the Donbass region. These guys are fighting for their lives. And when you're on the Russian side, you're seeing defections after defections, laying their weapons down, walking off the battlefield. They're done. Because they have.
Why they're all walking, don't you?
So if a soldier has no purpose, they're not going to fight for you.
Yeah, you know why they're walking? Because he's grabbing all the farmers from the farthest place he can find and pulling them right across the country to go to the Ukraine.
Yeah. And if a soldier doesn't have a purpose, then why would they fight for you? They can live a better life being captured by the Ukrainians, moved into some other NATO country, and live their life out without fear of dying. Okay. It hasn't gone well for North Korea supporting them. Okay. Hasn't gone well for them. And of course, there is the fear that he might do something catastrophic if other countries step in. But you can see through these NATO countries, the buildup has started. The buildup has started. Hell, they're up there in the north, in the Scandinavian countries, they're getting defection after defection. They're leaving that stuff. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Lisa and Jesse have come in. Lazy days ahead.
Kentucky Bluegrass Living, welcome in.
I'm not.
Who'd you say came in?
I'm a silverback gorilla.
The silverback gorilla. Hey, there's Wanda Henry. Welcome in, Wanda. Glad to see you. Oh, and that's right. In Canada, I forgot. I seen Wanda's name. Canada has jumped on board with the European Union countries to acknowledge a Palestine state also. Okay.
I don't acknowledge a Palestine state.
It's kind of like you're rewarding them for the atrocities
they
committed against Israel.
Yep.
You know, I'm sorry. I feel for the people, the Palestinian people, and the death that the war has caused women, children, on and on and on, innocent people. But
do you know who's killed more Palestinians than anyone else? Their own government. Hamas has killed more Palestinians than any other country in the world.
Now, I can believe that, but I can also believe that the people allowing Hamas to operate within their society is to blame also.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like apartheid, right?
They are
where the minority, which is Hamas, rules the majority, like they did in South Africa for years. Now we can talk about South Africa and the government down in South Africa killing white farmers and citizens and stuff like that. We can talk about that. How crazy is that? Yeah, the role has reversed.
Yep.
It's not apartheid anymore. And I don't know if it's vengeance, if it's them reclaiming their land from the quote unquote white devil. Okay.
But it wasn't their land.
I don't know.
They sold their land, actually.
Well, yeah, they made deals years and years and years ago, and it probably wasn't a fair deal anyway, because everybody, you know, we're all about getting the deal and getting the better of any deal.
But so the Africans were selling the other tribes. They were conquering other tribes, selling them to whoever bought them. It didn't matter if they were black or white.
Yeah.
They were selling them. And the land that they took, when the Dutch went over there, the Dutch bought land.
Yeah.
They started farming. They taught the Africans how to farm. Some of the whites even hired African natives. And it was the Dutch Boers that started.
Yeah. But it was also the Dutch trading companies and the London trading companies that paid Africans to round up other Africans to put them into slavery. So
yeah, it's the same in the Caribbean.
So now let's look at what your individual governments are doing to increase the craziness in which we have to live in. Okay?
to increase the prisoners.
By allowing mass migration from other countries to flood into your country, there's a lot of people, okay? There's a lot of people that have a real heartburn with that. Okay? To think that people can come into your country and receive all the services that you don't get or that you do get, yet they're contributing nothing to the society except crime.
Yeah.
Because when a young man sits idle and has no purpose and has, hey, being a criminal is easier than going to work. And if you get caught, you get 3 hots and a cot. And then they release you.
Good morning, Mindy.
You see it in the cities, the smash and grabs. Oh, you just steal a pickup truck, run that thing through the glass window and steal everything you can steal. And then listen to the people bitch and complain that stores are leaving their city. Seeing 3 major Walmarts move out of Chicago in the area where they're needed the most. However, when you look at the numbers, they're losing more product through theft than people actually paying cash for.
Yeah.
In a business model, it's time to leave. Screw their needs. Okay. And rightfully so.
Flog them. Public floggings for the looters.
One of the thing that pisses off a lot of Americans is hearing the truth. And hearing the truth that 13% of America is black, yet 13% of the population commits 60% of the crimes.
Yeah.
You can't fight against the numbers. Okay? Math is resolute. It's math. Okay? And until black leaders, NAACP, ACLU, all these people who say that they're fighting for the black community, and oh, by the way, are richer than shit and only come in when there's some chaos and they want to throw a speech up, until they address the problems within the community, no dads in the home, or the lack of parenting in the home. I know, and man, I'm going to tell you, I was a single parent, and I know that, and I only had 2 children, and that's a full-time job. And then you have to have a job, or you have to have a way of paying for stuff. And these kids have no direction, and they're finding gangs to join who's giving them security, direction. It may be misguided direction, but nevertheless, they're feeling secure within that family dynamic rather than their own. Okay? That's got to change. That has got to change. Okay? I remember watching what we did to the Asian community during World War II when the Japanese entered the war. What did we do to the Asian population in America? We put them in internment camps.
Yeah.
Don't care where you're from. You look Asian, so we're going to stick you in a camp. Okay? Everything was taken away from them. But yet that community after that happened, are one of the most prosperous communities within America. Okay. Why? Everything was taken from them. But yet, they're one of the richest communities within the United States. They are highly educated. They put standards on their children. That was ingrained in them years ago when they were children. Okay? And their cultural thing is to do their parents proud. All right? Not to bring shame on their family. Okay?
Used to be.
Now, I'm not going to say that there's not Asian gangs and stuff like that, and there's bad people and stuff like that. But as a whole, they're doing a lot better than other minority groups within the United States. I was raised in a predominantly Hispanic area when growing up in Arizona. And I seen dads go to work every day. I seen sons and daughters getting second jobs to help the family out. It was all about family. Okay. Our kids now, they just sit in the freaking basement, playing video games.
Family? What should I do for my family? They do it for me.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you something. And I say this with all my heart. The Hispanic community is a hardworking community. They are workers. And it's sad that our previous leadership allowed the flood of illegal migration into the United States, because although it's needed to get the bad people out of our country that came in, that are committing all these crimes and doing all this stuff, because guys, we got enough criminals. We didn't need more coming in. We were just fine on the criminal front. Okay. We were just fine. And now it is absolutely what we're having to do is painting a horrible picture on the Hispanic community. And I'll say it because there's a lot of good people out there. All right. But, a few bad apples can spoil the whole lot. Okay. And there are Hispanic people that are pointing this out. There are Hispanic people that are saying the criminal lives right there. They're working with law enforcement. They're making a stance. I see quite a few on social media, saying what you're doing is wrong. Let's get rid of the criminals and then we'll deal with the peaceful. Okay. And now the Supreme Court, adding to the chaos, some people might say, have unleashed law enforcement to profile. If you look Hispanic, if you speak with an accent, they're stopping you. And you may be a citizen in the United States, but you may be stuffed and cuffed, and let's find out what your immigration status is. Okay. So that's all contributing to a crazy world. It all is. How about countries? All right. That are people who do not agree with the way their government is running things. you're paying all these taxes, you're promised this, and the benefits for paying all that taxes is going down and down and down. Okay? Talk to some of these people from Canada. It's not like the Canada you grew up in. All right? Talk to the people that are out in these Providence or whatever, Alberta and stuff like that. They're not happy. The way wherever your government is located is making decisions on all of Canada, and it's the same for everybody, but they don't know how you live here in Alberta or wherever, Vancouver, blah, 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 so on and so forth. I don't know all about that. That's how ignorant of American I am. I don't know the different states, if you will, or territories in Canada, nor do I know them down in Mexico. All right. But America's not the America I grew up in. I'm sure Canada's not the Canada a lot of people grew up in. Although the Canadians are some proud people, okay, they're still disgruntled at the way things are being ran. Okay. Decisions being made. Mass punishment for everybody. You're going to pay this much in taxes and you're going to get health care and you're going to get this. And now you may get it, but it may not be the services you were expecting, or it may not be as fast as you want it. Talk to Scott. Scott will tell you. Well, I don't know if he'll tell you because he's a public figure now, but I don't think it's the same place. Germany's not the Germany people grew up in. England definitely is not the England Paul grew up in.
Is it? Fuck.
Yeah. And then what do? You just give up. Say, hey, don't leave your place because, hell, you don't know what's going to happen to you if you leave your house. Okay? And then you have to pay to go into cities and they're collecting money that way? That's a way of keeping people out while the powers that be take over. And that's wrong. Absolutely wrong.
I said when they started doing that, all lorries should stop going into London. How are they going to get the stuff to the stores? They've got to. But why the hell should they have to pay to deliver?
Yeah. I went to Lowe's and I bought these shower lights, and they're an LED flat light. It's not a can light. It's just a flat light you put up there, screw it in, plug it in, and you're good to go. And I bought a 2-pack and it was $34 for 2 of them. And the lady looked at me and she said, are you disabled or are you a veteran? I said, I'm a veteran. So whatever I was paying in taxes, they took that off the bill. So I got them for $34. And she looked at the screen and she started chuckling. I said, what's wrong? And she said, I hate even saying this to you, but would you like someone to come out and install this for you? I said, well, no. I said, why? How much does that cost? She goes, $132 to come out and install a light for me. And I said, holy smokes. I can replace all the lights in my house for less than that. And it just tells you, that's a society we're in. And I said, she goes, you would be surprised on how many people would actually pay that so they don't have to do it. I said, wow, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Let's see. Virginia says, my cousin was a missionary in Africa. Her family had to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Oh, yeah. I don't know if that is true.
It's not.
Um,
Africa had slaves coming before Hebrewism, Judaism, and
slave and indentured servants have been around since the beginning of time. So, and if
no,
you really,
not quite that far.
If you really look at the Mediterranean and look at the slavery trade that had been going on there for years and years, if you looked at the ships that came over into the Caribbean and you seen all the people that they scarfed up and put them into slavery, if you look at the Africans, they would defeat another tribe, and they would put that tribe into slavery to work for them, mark them, scarred them so you could visibly recognize who the slaves were and who the masters were. The Byzantines, if you follow Alexander the Great and the slaves that they ran into and the people they enslaved, it goes throughout history. All right, yeah, the Hebrews, aka the Jewish people, yes, they were enslaved, but that was not the first slaves. If you look at the Indian tribes and Native American tribes in the United States, if you look at why do they still have
the Celts?
Why do you think why is Seattle still called Seattle after Chief Seattle? All right, he was a slave owner. He enslaved people that would escape and from other tribes and enslave their people, and but yet you want to erase history because of the Civil War, and the only thing you know about the Civil War was to end slavery, and that was just one of the many reasons the Civil War went on. But only people are fixated on one thing. Okay.
Yep.
What about the hundreds and thousands of slaves that were in the Caribbean?
And they weren't all black.
No. They would capture them. They'd take them to the Dominican Republic. They'd take them to these islands and domesticate, as they call it, because if you just brought them straight to the United States, they would run. So you had to teach them to be afraid, and stuff like that. So people don't study the history of slavery. You should. You shouldn't just say we're slaves because of the Civil War and blah, blah, blah. No, how about taxation without representation? What about that? The South was sick of it. Okay. They were producing and the North was taking, and they were tired of it. Okay. All that stuff. The industrial North absolutely was part of the cause. So
the North and the South fought against the English because of that reason. And then the bloody old North decided, we'll do it instead.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Wanda. You're absolutely correct. There's my friend Minnie Cactus out there in the Tucson area. I was on her live earlier this morning.
She's been here for over half an hour.
I know.
But Mike just.
This is a talk show, Paul.
Yes.
I'll try to get there, and I will not go off air until I say hello to everybody.
I bloody will.
even if they leave, I will still say hello to them.
Yeah, Scott Brooms is in here. Jesse and Lisa are in here.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree we live in the best country in the world.
Kevin's in here.
But if what's going on in our country, and we still believe this is the greatest country on the planet.
No, it's not.
Where
it used to be an Englishman.
Where do you think other countries rank? Okay. We live in a country where our politicians side with the criminal element.
Yeah.
We live in a country where our politicians will fly to another country because a MS-13 gang member and criminal was deported, and poor is him, and let's sit down and have a margarita together. Okay? That's the country we live in.
Yeah.
Okay? We live in a country where they're so hell-bent in hatred to our president that nothing else matters but to oppose him. Even though they know what he's doing is the right thing and is a reflection of what they did prior to him coming into office. Okay? Paul has to deal with the fact that his government is siding with people other than their own citizens. Instead of saying, hey, let's make England great again, which is a new slogan, and you can buy that merch anywhere on the internet now. And it's called, instead of MAGA, it's called MEGA. Okay. Yeah. Or make Europe great again. I've seen those hats. And what happened with representing your own people?
Do you know why the MEGA
what happened to the security of your own people? The livelihood of your own people? Mm-hmm. The reason that you're in office was because of your own people, and yet you have abandoned them.
Because you're getting a big paycheck.
And moved over to the dark side. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you something, the force is not with you. There's more of us that are unhappy. And even though you're out there protesting and stuff like that, first of all, I can't believe that many people don't have jobs. I can't believe
some of those people are doing their job.
Go to an ICE detention facility just to get their head caked in.
Yeah.
They've got to be doing it for some other reason. And by the way, like Trump said in his speech at Charlie Kirk's thing, isn't it amazing that these people get together and they're carrying these professionally made marketed signs, and they all look the same. So you know somebody's not in their basement with a marker making a sign. So somebody's paying for it. Yeah. And by the way, he has sicked the DOJ and tasked them with finding out who is paying for this and prosecute them.
And you know who's at the top of the list?
Oh, I know.
It's about time Soros was brought to justice. He should be stripped of everything he's bloody well collected over the years. The IRS should take it all.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't agree with probably a lot because, but then I stopped and Terry, she goes, "Hey, you have to remember how political Charlie Kirk really was, how ingrained he was in the conservative movement,
But
what he wanted for America, what he wanted for the youth of America. And yes, that was a conservative rally. And everybody freely admitted it. Okay. It was to honor Charlie Kirk. It was a memorial service. It was a conservative rally. And nobody is disputing that. And yes, when you get a bunch of politicians together, yeah, they're going to ramble on and say, support the conservative movement. I get that. Mark their place in history, that they were there, that they spoke. I think that out of all of them, I wasn't surprised that even though I am a Trump supporter, I did vote for him every time he ran, that he made it a political rally for himself. In some cases, some of the things he said was about him and not about Charlie. He did say great things about Charlie Kirk. He knew him on a personal level, which a lot of us didn't. We know him from YouTube, from TikTok, from Facebook, from the news, and all that stuff. But these people actually knew him. Everybody that spoke was actually a friend of Charlie Kirk's. But that's what Charlie wanted. I'm sure he would say, "Hey, keep pushing on the conservative movement." All right. But we watched the whole thing. And like I said earlier, Terry and I have been in both of those venues, the ice hockey arena and the football stadium. We've been in both of those several times. And
that's been proved false wonder.
It is. So I don't know if you could actually say it was truly a memorial service. It was to remember the causes that Charlie Kirk stood for. So yeah, you can see it whatever way you see it. That's the way I see it. But yeah, and we appreciate everybody's views on that. Let me see. Yeah. Hey, there's Donna. And I said Donna, Paul.
Yeah, well, you can say what you like, because I am sorry to say this. I always call her road trips because I can never bloody remember her name.
Kind of like Kevin over at Camping Cage Free?
For you, yes. I always remember Kevin's name. Not Keith, Kevin.
My dad died when I was 6, grew up in a single parent home. My mom worked split shifts and did her best. I was an alcoholic 30 years, but still went to work. Yeah.
Don't worry, Donna. I'll get there eventually.
And you're right. You've got to. All right. I remember as a kid people being chastised because people didn't see them in church on Sundays. You know? Now, you know, the NFL's taken over a lot of people, you know. Can't go to church because the Cowboys are going to lose today. Or Chiefs finally won.
The NFL are trying to get back everything that Pumpernickel got rid of.
Yeah, and we must put on the armor of God, stay involved locally, vote, speak boldly as we ought to speak. That's right. Absolutely correct. Governments need consequences. You're on the money. Wow, congratulations. You'll be clean and sober 18 years next month. Congratulations. Okay, and that's fine too. I'm sure your Canadian government is doing everything correct where you live, but there's a lot of people that don't feel that way. There's a lot of people in America that doesn't feel like our government's taking care of them. And it's a big job. It is a big job. You can't make everybody happy. But if you can, and if you are, then that's great. Yep. Congratulations to you also, Tamara. Let's see. What is this? They are trying to trap you in 15-minute cities and disarm.
Disarm you so you can't fight back.
Well, supposedly, Chicago has the strictest gun laws in the world, yet they have all the guns. Okay.
Yeah.
And then when I was watching these videos of these thugs saying, "Don't bring in the National Guard, we got switches," and I'm going, I thought a Switch was one of those game console things that you play. Why would anybody be afraid of that? And then later on, after looking into it, they're talking about switches or mechanical parts that you put into a handgun so you can use an extended clip and it goes into automatic rapid fire. I didn't know that. Didn't know that. Probably because I don't need one. I'm happy to see Turning Point USA reaching so many youth. Yes. And we are experiencing a great revival. Yes. Absolutely agree. Yeah. But I'm telling you, it's kind of hard to traverse this world with so much evil. Now, I don't know, I don't know if this is hell and God wants us to see how we're going to survive hell before we return to Him. I don't know. Obviously, some people are going to fail the test and some people are going to pass the test. No, none of us are going to pass with perfect scores, a 4.0, if you will, because none of us are perfect. So I don't know. And until the veil is lifted, and I'm pretty sure when I hear Erica and other people say, the guy who, I can't remember his name, he was in the car when they put Charlie Kirk in the car, and his eyes were half open and he had a smile on his face. I don't know. Was that the point where his spirit and his body seen the glory of God? I don't know. The veil was lifted and he said, wow. I don't know, because God doesn't want us to know. He wants us to follow the teachings, and to live a good life, to be kind to one another, help somebody in need. Okay? That's what he's testing us on. Our love for him. That's what he's testing us on. Are you worthy to stand next to me? I don't know what the answer is, guys. If I knew, I wouldn't be here, because it will all be revealed to you.
If I knew, I'd be up there.
Exactly. You know, for those of you who judge people, who say this is wrong, this is right, you know, should two men be married together? Should two women be married together? Is it normal to feel these feelings? All these things, you are in no position to judge anybody on this planet. Are you wrong for being that person, okay, that says one thing but does another thing? Oh, nobody knows I'm doing this, so, you know, I can still be this holy roller over here while I'm still doing this over here. While I'm cheating on my spouse, I still go to church every Sunday. I'm playing this facade for everybody to see. You know, everything's a test. Okay? These tests drive people insane. The common denominator from all these shootings that we see everywhere is the mental state of the person that's actually doing it. Okay? My dog told me to go shoot these people. Who does that sound like? Okay? So one thing that we can make sure of is to check ourselves. Be your own critic. Be your own judge. How do you want to
I'm
live?
my worst.
How do you want to live your life?
Worst.
And don't worry about how everybody else lives their lives. Preach the gospel. Okay? Whether people accept it or not. Don't yell at people to get your point across. Be humble. Okay? Respect. Everybody has the free agency to choose for themselves. Help them with the tools. If they choose, then that's great. If they don't, that's on them. God will tell you on Judgment Day, you know, Paul,
you fucked up.
You did some really shitty things down there. You judged people. You came to conclusions. You hurt people's feelings, yada, 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 so on and so forth. But, you know, as your God, um, I forgive you. Just like Erica stood there and boy, I'm going to tell you something. I teared up when she said, as Jesus said on the cross, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. She said the same thing about her husband's shooter. And she said those words. And I know if you go back and watch this, if you only watch one portion of that whole thing, you need to listen to her talk. It was everything in her body to say that she forgave the shooter. And you could feel the pain leaving her mouth when she said these things. So I'm going to tell you something, guys. Work on yourself, make yourself a better person. And when you make yourself a better person, people see that. Okay. All right. It's kind of like when you lose a lot of weight, people go, whoa, how did you do that?
I wish.
People notice that. But do people notice it when you become a better person? Something to think about, right? Camping cage free, Kevin. Yeah. Debt is a slave. Yes.
I can honestly say I don't have any.
The Irish slaves. I mean, come on. The Vikings put a lot of people into slavery, right?
I did mention the Celtics, James.
The Celtics, yeah.
It wasn't just the Irish, it was the Welsh and the Scottish.
Yeah. Well, back when in England, way back when you had the pagans running around like crazy, they would take people into slavery. And when they caught them, they would put them into servitude working for the crown. Yeah. What is this? Our tax dollars were used for that, Mike. We want a refund. America first. Yeah.
David says, God will say, well, Paul, I saw you on YouTube and well, LOL. So I just put my response. David, God will say, I seen you and Big Mike on YouTube. And you both.
There's Lacey.
I seen cutie.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. She wanted the president there.
Yes.
And she knew what she was getting.
Yes,
okay. He did say some great things about Charlie. Kind of went off the rails a little bit as he was going along, but
as he always does.
Everybody's saying hello to Lacey.
I am sick and tired of the nursing homes, Lacey. I have seen too many people in them.
I couldn't leave the house if I didn't go to church. Yeah.
My house is my church. Well, my flat is
Hello,
my
Aaron.
church.
Welcome in. Glad you came in. Saying hello.
Yeah, Aaron's probably been in and gone.
Yeah. Now that the Supreme Court has untied law enforcement's hands, boy, I'm going to tell you something. We're going to see a lot of stuff going on. And
I agree.
we're going to be talking about all that and military and all that stuff tomorrow night on Sergeant's Talk TV, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, for our veteran community and all those interested in the veteran community. So please join Jason and I for Sergeant's Talk TV every Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Or in UK time, every Wednesday at 2 a.m.
You know, I look at it the same way. I see things different now as an older man than when I was a younger man. I said a lot of hateful stuff to people that I knew were gay and stuff like that. I matured. I think my first personal relationship was with a lady in the military. And this was before Clinton made the "don't ask, don't tell" policy in the military, and she opened my eyes. My relationship with Terrie's best friend, Laura, she opened my eyes. Although I do like to get her riled up, and I don't do it out of hatred, I do it to see her get pissed off. So, Laura, if you're watching this, I apologize for that, but it's just too easy. It's just too easy for me. Love you to death. Miss Arlene, welcome in.
He finally got to you.
What do you think heaven will be like? There will be no separation of types of people. We will all be there to praise God. Yeah, I believe that wholeheartedly. Now, will it be cut and dry? You were gay, so you can't come in. Okay. Now, you went on a murdering spree and you took my children's life, God will say. Are you deserving of coming in? Okay.
Someone that doesn't do what they preach.
Is that the unforgivable sin? You were a drug addict, you stole from people, you were always under the influence, yada, yada, yada. And for those reasons, you can't come in. Is that what God's going to say? Or are you one of God's misguided children? Okay. That he still loves and adores. But you made a wrong choice. Is it that cut and dry? I hope it's not. Okay. I hope it's not. Were you the parent that mutilated your child because you thought, I don't know what the answer is, guys. If I did, I'd either be dead or I'd be, somebody holier than thou. I don't know. Pastors, preachers, evangelists, they preach on their interpretation of the Bible. How about preaching straight out of the Bible? Because there is a lot of truth in the words written and read. Okay? The rest of it is a prophet or an apostle or somebody telling the story. But the words written and read, guys, you can believe in. Those came from the mouth of our Savior. Why don't churches just write out of the Bible? Okay? That's what you need to know. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know how many times Charlie Kirk has read and studied the Bible from a guy who didn't attend college or a seminary or anything like that. But man, did he know it. Man, did he know it.
He learned, as he says many times,
He is
he
self-taught.
learned something. Yeah, he learns something new every day.
And it's like Terrie will put on her headphones and she will listen. Who is that James Earl Jones? James Earl Jones reading of the Bible.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care. Reading puts me to sleep in a heartbeat. Okay?
Shall I tell you why Terrie puts those headphones on?
So she don't hear me snoring.
So she don't hear you full stop.
So it doesn't matter how you read it. If you listen to it, okay, you can listen to it 1,000 times and you're going to learn something. Oh, wow. That just hit me. Okay. Hey, Ed Kirkpatrick, the storyteller's here.
I don't know. You've been telling quite a few this morning.
I bet you. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, that's one place when I was a cop, I tried to get out as fast as I could out of a hospital. Can't do it. And my big pain is children being hurt.
You're not alone on that.
When I worked traffic and had to go to car accidents and stuff like that, the children there was a picture one time somebody had of me and I was crying my eyes out while helping the medics pull a 6-year-old little girl out of a car wreck. Yeah, it's...
No, Charlie Kirk never went to college.
Going to domestic disturbances where children were sexually assaulted just broke my heart. Oh, yeah.
I can honestly say I have no hate for anyone. But illegal immigrants, I just wish they'd piss off.
Well, and someone told me one time, in order to actually hate somebody, you have to actually know somebody.
Yeah. I love Terrie.
You love Terrie? And one of the things I did, and I just read Jamie's comment, is watching the videos of the agnostic or the atheist debating Charlie Kirk and just looking at their faces. When they had nothing to say, because I do believe that Charlie was guided in those conversations. I seen a video the other day where a young gal who had an OnlyFans page and did some despicable stuff on her OnlyFans page sexually and stuff like that had turned away from that way of life, became a Christian, and told Charlie that she supported his ministry, what he is doing, and that becoming a Christian gave her life more purpose than making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of men and women who would pay to see her on her only page. She gave all that up to save her soul. I mean, if you really go through all of Charlie Kirk's, you're gonna see some really desperate people. You're gonna see some really intriguing topics. You're gonna see a lot of people where God has changed their life for the better. So, open mind, guys. Open mind. Wishing on a star. Morning,
You will
sorry,
see
I'm late.
them debate other
Wanted
people
to
to
ask,
try and
how do you get right when you have someone that doesn't
but
do
doesn't do what they
a
preach,
preach?
and most of the problems with their addiction.
Yeah, you know, I think I knew, because I mean, I consider myself a Christian my whole life. Then I strayed. I went into the military. Um, that side of me went away. I concentrated on my career and all that stuff. And then, and I've told the story. And then when I was in the desert, after zipping up somebody I knew in a body bag, I went to, for some reason, they put out a grid coordinate where there was going to be services in the desert. And I went over there to that, and I stood in the background and I listened. And when I felt like he was talking directly to me, because everything he said fit into my life.
You were the biggest one there, so you had to be the biggest sinner.
And I will tell you that when I hear people talk um, about Christianity, about Jesus Christ, about God our Father, and stuff like that, I have this emotional feeling inside my body. My eyes tear up because I know what I'm listening to is true. And it is something I feel deep in my soul. And I didn't feel that before. Um, it's kind of like a drug addict has to hit rock bottom and want to change. I hit rock bottom emotionally, and my soul wanted to change. I don't know how many times I teared up yesterday listening to people speak.
Terry!
So I know inside for me that I have come to a better relationship, and he's the one I'm worried about. He's the one that I'm worried will judge me for my transgressions and stuff like that, and that scares the living hell out of me.
He's
So
more scared of Terry.
no, no,
He's more scared of Terry. Don't let him slide out of that one.
yeah. God is love. Satan is hate. You're absolutely correct. Yeah. I've seen that End of Days.
I don't think it was a sick movie.
Yes. Now I will tell you, people say, oh, you can just pray and ask for forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't work that way in my eyes, and I'm only going to speak for me. Asking for forgiveness is not just words. Asking for forgiveness has got to come from deep in your soul. Okay? That is a spiritual thing. If you ask for forgiveness and you throw it around like a punchline, I don't care. I'll go out and get drunk and whore around and do this and do that. I can always ask for forgiveness. I can say, 20 Hail Marys and yada, 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 and go, feed the poor or whatever. I think forgiveness, you'll know it because that comes from deep in your soul. And it's just not you can throw it
You'll
around.
know if you were forgiven, because if you were forgiven, your ass won't be on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't give your interpretation. Read from the Bible. Preach directly from the Bible. Yeah. He didn't. He never went to college. But I'll tell you what, the mentor that he had that runs the college that takes no money, I can't remember the name of it. They gave honorary degrees to both Charlie and his wife, and his children. It's college paid for. I mean, they get a full ride.
My dad always told me, hope for the good, but expect the worst.
And see, that is the key word. Trying to be godlike. We know we'll never attain that. Not on this earth. Okay? But the word trying, that is the active verb in that right there. The trying part. Okay? See, I do too. Exactly. Judge not, yet ye be judged.
Stay safe, Karen. Have a great week.
Yeah.
I want to ask Terry how many boxes of tissues that she had to give you.
I'm gonna tell you something, guys. My eyes were teared up yesterday. Exactly. If you constantly look for the bad in people, you're gonna find it. Okay? Is it because you want to find out who the bad people are? And then you ignore their good side, or are you misjudging people? Again, judge lest you be judged.
You mean judge not lest you be judged?
That one too. I'm not a scholar.
Wonder you and me could talk each other's ears off.
And see, and that's where kindness comes in. That's where helping somebody in need. Sometimes people just they just need to talk, they need to vent. They're confused, and it's like a bad marriage sometimes inside your brain, you know. You both start you're both guilty of the bad marriage, and trying to fix it yourself doesn't work. You need an unbiased ear to help you out. And when friends can lend you that ear, can lend you the understanding, but understanding always also comes with truth. And if you're not ready for the truth, pick your listener wisely. Because if you come to me and you want to sit down, which I've got a lot of people that's done that, I will tell them the truth. Okay? If you're tore up from the floor up, I'm going to tell you that. Okay? But my opinion is just my opinion. It's what you do with that information to better your life, no matter who you talk to. Now, I would never go to a Catholic priest and want to talk about problems in my marriage. Okay? Because they can't get married. And they're just going to give you a book version of what they learned in school about counseling. I'd rather talk to somebody that maybe not be a professional, but somebody that I know has their shit together.
What got Lucifer into trouble was he tried to raise the angels against God. He led a rebellion.
Jesus was a Capricorn. Well, he may have been, he may not have been. I don't know that I've ever read he was born, on the 25th of December. I don't. Well, yeah, if that's indeed the truth, what does the spring of the year mean in the Holy Land? I don't know. But we do celebrate the birth of Christ on that time, along with the big fat bearded guy. Not you, Paul, but Santa Claus.
Yeah,
I never heard that one before.
Yeah. Yeah, my two daughters said it to me on bloody Saturday. Dad, you need to dye your beard white. I says, you can piss off and I ain't wearing no red suit neither.
Yeah. And one thing I just wanted to point out, did you know that Chris Christopherson was a major in the U.S. Army? And he was in Vietnam. Actually, he was Special Forces. All right. So we have made it down to the bottom. We have said hello to everybody. My computer went dead, so we captured a lot of things about this crazy world, things that are making it crazy. It's political, it's social, it's religious, it's evil, it's heavenly. And that combination can just really mix up people. But one thing that everybody is do your research. Don't believe the first thing running across your screen. I always look for at least 3 sources. And then my 4th source is always going to Terrie because Terrie researches things to the nth degree. Okay, because she wants to know what the truth is.
Jesse's been sitting here all along. He's a big, fat, bearded guy. You talking about me, Mike?
Oh, is that how I got Jesse to actually put a comment in the chat?
He said hello.
Yeah. So, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming in. I don't even know. It's 10:30. We've been on for 2 hours. But, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming in. Remember, be kind to one another. Help somebody in need. And always, always think of that. Guys, we'll be back on Friday, 8:30 in the a.m. Central Standard Time. Paul and I will be here. And who knows what we're going to talk about. But, guys, we love you. God bless you. Hey, there's Web Deb Spider. Hey, welcome in. Glad you came in. Guys, we love you. God bless you. And remember, we'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys. Bye, Jesse. Hello, Lisa.
That would be like me coming to your
Lisa
place.
is the only person that's keeping Jesse straight on the straight and narrow.
Of course, just like Terrie does that for you.
That's right. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.
Hot Mike.
Hot